Hello and welcome to Car Lube. If this is the first time you've come across one of my videos, you're in for a really big treat. In this episode we are starting an exciting new series called E30 M3 Recreation. If you start watching this series years after it's been produced, all the episodes will be found on one playlist, so you can enjoy hours of fun. So what do we hope to achieve with this project? I shall tell you. This is Spencer, the owner of BMP Conversions, a nationally renowned E30 specialist. He will recreate from the ground up, leaving no screw unturned on this iconic BMW E30. The exterior will be a perfect likeness to the E30 M3 with enhancements. Under the gorgeous wide arch body, Spencer will install many custom parts, some of which his company manufactures in-house. He will be installing a tuned S54 straight-six 3.2 litre M3 engine, E36 M3 suspension and brakes, along with modern aftermarket additions. More details of course will be explained along the way. The end result we hope to achieve with this project will be a full recreation with enhancements, built to be a lot faster than the E30 M3 with potentially 350 bhp per tonne, stopping sharper than the original, with steering and suspension being more direct than the original, giving it the drivability of a modern car without the usual weight bias we unfortunately are accustomed to these days. The starting vehicle chosen for this project is a 318 coupe that, as you can see, has already had a fiberglass body installed. Unfortunately, not very well, and with safety in mind as well as quality, Spencer will be left with no alternative than to remove it and start again. There will be a video coming shortly explaining from a safety point of view exactly why this kit is such a disaster. In this series, we will regularly document the step-by-step process of building Evz Lister's E30 from the ground up, and along the way, Spencer will talk us through the details of the work he is carrying out and show us what he's doing. But in this episode we will find out what BMP Conversions does and what makes Spencer such a BMW guru. We will then tell you the plans going forward for this project. Believe me guys, this is going to be a really good series, so please share it with all your buddies. And if you haven't already subscribed, please smash that button so that you don't miss out on the next video update. Also go follow my Instagram, plus Spencer's Instagram is BMP Carbon for further updates in between videos. Links are on the screen, I will also put them in the description below. So the question is, I mean obviously we've got mostly E30 BMWs around us here now. Yep. What made you sort of specialise? Because I assume you specialise in these cars. These are the ones you know, although you probably know the wide range of...
You know, I do service everything up to date and work on everything up to date, and I try, you must do, because if you don't keep your hand in, you become a dinosaur.
Yeah.
You can soon get stuck in working on... I know I work on the older cars, but I'm working on the newer engines, but there are faults on the newer cars that you need to keep up to date with. Yeah. And if you don't, you're worked out in 5 years' time. You're stuck doing this only, and if this dries up, then you're out of the game.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, I do specialise on these cars because I know every nut and bolt internally. I mean, this is the car that I had when I first passed my test, that I'd saved up for from 14 to 17 to buy one.
Yeah.
My dad had 3 or 4 of them, 323s. He had a 325. And I absolutely doted on them. You know, I knew by the time I was 17, I'd saved up and I'd spent 17 grand on one of them. And you know, literally bought one, put this body kit on, and like I say, I know every nut and bolt on them. So it's just easy for me if someone says I want ABS fitted to it, when I know all the parts, I've got them. The engines, now with BMWs anyway, the specialist where I worked at, I mean, he's a millionaire now, and he made his money through the E30 original engine. We were doing 3 cylinder heads a week when I first started for them, because the M20s just cracked the cylinder heads all the time. Right. And or they'd bust the cam belts. So either the cam belt jobs are coming in with bent valves, or we're doing cylinder heads, and you know, obviously cracks right down the middle of them. So, but I mean, it was good because I didn't have a normal apprenticeship. It was more of an apprenticeship where, you know, you were pulling engines apart. I mean, I actually done my level 2 in half the time of everyone else, because I just knew the answer to every engine internal question they were asking. You know?
Yeah. You take a project from start to finish, so you're doing the engineering work here. You can build the cars, and you're an engineering specialist.
Yes. So yeah, so I'm an engine specialist, more of an engine specialist than I am a bodywork person.
Okay.
But the place where I was trained at the BMW specialist, so there was 2 bays of that area, and that bay over there was literally a 2-car garage.
Right.
And that bay over there, the guy would be doing bodywork stuff all day long. You know, he'd be there, cut the front chassis legs off, he'd be unpicking all the spot welds off the bulkhead.
Yeah.
Be lined up, triangulating and everything, and years of working for this guy, I was actually sat there watching everything he do. I mean, I'm not the type of person that will let someone do something and never take anything in. I want to learn as much as I can off that person until I need to sort of make it for myself or do it for myself. So obviously I went away from that BMW specialist with, you know, knowing exactly how to strip these engines, how to rebuild them, you know, how to recondition them, how to check all clearances, tolerances and everything. And when that come down to like the body work, I had a very, very good understanding of how to start with the process of actually fitting the panels and doing the body work.
Spencer, as I mentioned before, also manufactures many parts for his engine conversions, plus creating carbon fibre body panels completely from scratch, as we can see on the car here with the carbon fibre boot lid and C-pillars. That's what we were saying, wasn't it? It'd be quite nice to leave this bit all the way round in carbon.
Yeah, definitely do that. Yeah, definitely.
Do you like that idea?
Yeah. Well, the parcel shelf will sit.
I'm not deciding.
I know the parcel shelf.
The parcel shelf covers the bottom bit. The parcel shelf covers this piece right to here. So that covers the entire.
We'll lift it in on this car, try and see if it fits on this car, so you can see how much it covers.
Yeah. So inside the car, James, the blue packet here, that is the original genuine M3 rear glass.
Okay.
Yeah, everything's here.
And it's all heated and...
Heated.
This is supposed to be a comfortable road car, isn't it?
Fast road car, occasional track, you know, but I've got, as you know, I've got my supercharged 346, nearly 600.
That's for the track,
with a forged engine, charged. There's only so much power you need.
It looks good in there, doesn't it? Yeah. It looks almost complete, this car now.
When you think it's going to have the white body, the white interior, white body, and then that will just break up the interior enough.
Well, then obviously your original window has a dark strip all the way around. That needs a little bit more, just trimmed out the middle there. But that dark strip will cover that very edge there.
Well, perhaps when you put your window surrounding there, it doesn't need any trimming. It's probably the lesser quality fiberglass.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it may well be. But it may be because that ain't supported actually under there. Funnily enough. Supported very well.
Oh, look how flimsy that is.
Yeah.
Well, you hear it crack. That crack is the crack along the joint where it's glued on.
Yeah, no
I think it's a good job you found this guy, Enz.
Yeah. Oh god, did a lot of research to find the right person for the E30.
You know your stuff, don't you, mate?
Try to.
So when the car's exteriorly white, interiorly white cage, and just that showing is the. I think it'll offset.
It'll look nice. It'll look really nice.
Black seats, black
I mean,
harnesses.
we can actually do some carbon side panels to replace the original door cards on the side here.
We had to do something on the.
So we do some carbon side panels, cuts to the sides. So it's just another little touch, you know, that will highlight the cage in the background, obviously being behind the cage.
Yeah.
So that will look really nice.
Are you following my black and white theme on my car?
I think I am.
It's going to look good anyway. Black and white looks good. So obviously an S54, that's a 1.8 in there at the moment.
Yep.
So an S54 is going in there. What is actually involved? Because I've seen the pile of parts, obviously, that are on the floor over there. Is it a big thing to put an S54 in a?
Yes,
in this
it's quite.
structure?
Yeah, it's not structurally. So the engine bay of the E30 will take the S54 quite comfortably.
Okay.
There's no modification needed to the inner wings or bulkhead or anything like that. The main thing, and what I do that not many more people do, is fit the rear load and sun, which is, I think, is a vital item for the S54. I'll also do another option. So if a customer comes to me and they want to run E36 5-stud suspension, front to rear, I also offer suspension sort of, they come to me, I say to them, buy the E36 Evo front brakes and hubs and wishbones and all that. And that's a bigger brake upgrade, offers fantastic brakes to match the power of the engine, but what it also offers, I'm allowed to then move the rack position, like the E36 had, a further forward rack position on the actual engine bed. So the rear load and sump can be fitted without modifying the sump at all.
Okay.
So,
and is that the route that we're going with Evz's car?
Yes. So that's the route we're going with Evz's car.
Due to the 5-stud conversion, the 16-inch BBS wheels currently on the car will be changed for these 17-inch AZF wheels for the time being. Here's an impression of what they will look like on the car.
I like this one.
Yeah,
Evo,
no, I like it.
Evo 2 is nice.
So it's an so basically I've got an Evo 2.
Yeah.
But is there a point in putting a splitter on there just to protect the paint of that? Is that what you're
Well, no, it's a small piece of carbon, the splitter is. The original Evo Sport splitter was a carbon splitter that went onto the bottom of the bumper.
You could put one of the old Laguna ones on there, couldn't you?
Yeah. Seen a few Volkswagens like that. There's some square lights in it as well.
Are you putting spotlights in it as well?
Well,
I've got the air ducts moulded.
So thank you very much for watching this video. Hopefully you have found it informative and entertaining. In the coming episodes, we will uncover even more about this project, so keep coming back for future updates on E30 M3 recreation. And hopefully it won't be long before it's tearing up the tarmac. Hello and welcome back to Car Lube. In this episode, we are at the BMW Car Club of Bedfordshire and Cambridgeshire's monthly owners meeting, which is held every 4th Tuesday of the month at the Royal Oak Public House in Barrington. This is a very friendly and welcoming club. The atmosphere on a sunny evening with great food and a pint in hand is brilliant enough, but with a wide range of